Might as well. But that's the beauty of it. When you see the guy standing there, you realize that here's a guy. One thing that I've always asked anybody who was running for judge was, don't forget where you started. Don't forget that we're all just trying to make a living here practicing law. And John is certainly a classic example of a guy who's never forgot that. He's never forgot where he came from. He's been just about every type of lawyer you could be. And always a good one, no matter what setting was. It was always a very positive experience for both the court, his client, and the people that he worked with. You'll never find a lawyer in northeastern Ohio say a bad word about him, except I understand that Neil Wilson did want to take him outside one time during a hearing, and so you must have been doing a great job. But what you really want is somebody who understands life, who's even-keeled, who's going to be the same person on Saturday night that you see on Sunday morning. And there's one guy I know who is all those things. Your next judge in Lake County Common Pleas Court, John O'Donnell.
Welcome to, once again, another beautiful January evening in Northeast Ohio. I appreciate the effort you made in getting here. Before I get going, I would like to thank Dave for being here tonight, appearing here tonight, introducing me, and giving me such a gracious welcome. I've known Dave probably since 1990, since we were both part of the Kirtland Cult prosecution team. And I'm proud to call him my friend, and he is an outstanding congressman. So please, a round of applause for Dave. It was interesting. This afternoon, I was going on the News Herald website, and I look, just at random, I look and there's a news flash that John O'Donnell has announced for Ohio Supreme Court. And I thought, well, that's pretty good timing on my part. But just in case there's any confusion, I'm not that one. I'm John O'Donnell. I'm running for judge of the Lake County Common Pleas Court. I was born in this area. I was raised in Wickliffe by my parents, Jim and Pat, seated up front here, along with my two brothers and two sisters. I went to grade school at Our Lady of Mount Carmel, graduated from Lake Catholic High School, John Carroll University, and then finally from the Cleveland Marshall College of Law. One of my good friends that I graduated with, Judge Mary Kilbane on the 8th District Court of Appeals, was going to be here tonight but couldn't make it through the weather, but she is one of my good friends and I appreciate her support. Over the last, it's got to be 26 plus years, I've been practicing law in Lake County. And I practiced just about all you can practice in the county. I've convicted murderers in Common Pleas Court. I've represented parents and children in Lake County Juvenile Court, helped businesses settle commercial disputes in the courts, and represented folks with domestic and divorce matters in Lake County Domestic Relations Court. In 1989, when Steve Latourette was elected as the Lake County prosecuting attorney, he hired me as a young assistant prosecutor. And I thought, well, the guy came after me, he hired me, I thought maybe I'm a pretty good lawyer, and that's what he saw. But then one of the other folks who was already working there told me that he also found out I was a pretty good softball player, so it was kind of a double bite. But it was a great place to work, great trial experience, and I appreciate everything I learned there. Years later, I was the village prosecutor for Grand River, prosecuting misdemeanor cases in Painesville Municipal Court. And then about maybe 10 years ago, I was appointed law director in the city of Willow. I held that position for about 6 years plus. Thankfully, Mike Lucas took over to clean up that mess, so thank you, Mike, I appreciate it. But I kept that position until I took my current position, that with prosecuting attorney Charles Colson, and I accepted a position as the chief assistant prosecutor in charge of the civil division in Lake County. And that job entails just basically representing the county commissioners, which isn't always the easiest thing, Dan. And
You said you're doing a great job.
Well, he did. He's got to tell everybody that. And then the representation of all the elected officials in Lake County. I'm also proud to have, about 20 years ago, served the first of my 6 terms on Willowick City Council. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time working on council. I was part of a council group that led the project at Mannery Park, turned an old Nike site into a very functional, very, I think, a great recreational park. It's kind of the recreational and community hub of the city. And that park today includes baseball fields for Little League, football fields, a gymnasium, and a first-class pool. And I was very proud to lead that, or to be a part of the contingent that led to that transformation of the park, along with the current mayor, Rich Bonney. Willowick is where my wife of 27 years, Nancy, and I have raised our 2 daughters and our 2 sons, Jackie and Julianne, and Patrick and Dylan. And a little more than 4 years ago, we were very blessed to welcome our grandson, Mason, who's seated here tonight. It's been a nice, I've enjoyed living in Willowick. It's nice to be part of the fabric of the community and the church at St. Mary Magdalene. I would like to publicly thank my wife and my kids for their patience and their understanding as we forge ahead toward November 4th. So I appreciate all that you guys have done for me. There are, and it's hard to single anybody out, but there are 5 Lake County lawyers that I think need to be recognized. And these are folks, I'll tell you who they are. The late Paul LaPlante, who was a longtime Lake County public defender. As I mentioned, Prosecutor Steve Latourette. Judge Joe Gibson of the Lake County Court of Common Pleas. Painesville Attorney Jim Lyons, and the current prosecutor, Chuck Colson. It has been my distinct honor and privilege to work for or with these folks throughout the course of my career. And I think all the lawyers here will agree, you're not going to find 5 guys who personify the profession of being a lawyer. It has been working with them and for them that has given me the counsel and guidance that has made me what I think is the lawyer I am today. And 2 of those folks are here tonight. The other 2 couldn't. Chuck Colson and Judge Joe Gibson is here, and I'd like those folks to be recognized and taken home. Now, that leads to the question of the night. Why am I running for judge? When a lawyer practices law, he represents one person, one individual, to protect their interests and advance what they are trying to do, and that is the client. The client is always the focus, and the lawyer always must zealously and ethically represent the client. Now, when I become a judge, it will give me the opportunity to expand the impact on our community. The judge has the opportunity to protect not only the interests of the parties to a case, but also the community as a whole. As a judge, it's going to be my goal to maintain the public confidence in the integrity of the justice system, because if there's no confidence in it, then society breaks down. I will insist upon the highest standards in the fair and impartial administration of justice. Look, when somebody comes to court to seek redress, they should demand and do demand fairness and impartiality in that forum. And it is with that in mind that I will deliver justice fairly and to every person who comes to that court without favor. Look, simply put, this campaign is about one thing. It's what I can offer and what I can do for Lake County, because I'll tell you, Lake County has done an awful lot for me over these many years. So I thank you for coming out on this balmy January evening. And to what Dave said, I'm truly humbled by the support I've received here today. And so with that, I invite you to enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you very much for being here tonight.